Hello and welcome to episode 112 of the HamCorp Training Manual. In this episode, we set up the Space Elevator mining module, start work on improving our power production and transportation infrastructure, and we set up the first integrated ore factories in a new ore building expansion. So I am currently in the process of crafting the Mark 9 mining drone, but I think I actually need to have multiple mining drones because, for example, this asteroid, right, or this meteor for bismuth ore, I can use Mark 4, 5, 6, or 7. That's it. I cannot use Mark 8 or 9 or higher. It's not compatible with this asteroid. So I think what I'm going to have to do is make kind of one of each mining drone and use them where I need. It's not just a matter of making the best one and then only having the best one. So that is good to know. And also I'm out of bismuth, so this is probably a good time to try and actually get the space elevator in action. I prepared a little bit between episodes. So here I have an active transformer to split off 1 amp of UV. That goes into this new quantum computer that I've built. I haven't done anything special with it. It's exactly the same setup as the other quantum computer. This provides computation to my Mark II space mining module. It provides far more than it needs, but that doesn't matter so much because I can actually split off different amounts of computation and send them to different modules when I have them. For now, I'm oversupplying and whatever, it's fine. Now, I need an input bus. This is where the mining drone is going to go. I have an output bus. I have a 256K storage cell here to increase the buffer size or the cache size. I don't know if I really need to do this, but I figured I may as well. And that leads into a little mini storage subnet. So this subnet has nothing except 10 drives to store my ore, a crafting terminal so I can actually look at the thing, and an interface with which I can connect to my mainnet, which I have turned purple, which is not what I usually do. Let me make this red so I'm consistent. There you go. So the red is my mainnet. This is just a little storage subnet, like I said, for the ores. And finally, down here, I have my optical reception connector for the computation, and I have a stocking input hatch with helium plasma. Now, I'm trying to make the Mark 7 drone right now, but I'm out of bismuth. So I'll make another Mark 6, and I'll use this recipe. So I'm going to need tungsten steel drill tips and drill rods, and those are going to have to be supplied, I assume. So I'm going to make another input hatch specifically for those. Maybe a stocking input hatch would be smart. And then I'll set these parameters and stuff so everything is correct. And then finally, we can start generating some ores. Okay, everything has been set up. This has been configured. This has been configured. I set the distance to 5, which is the minimum. Oh, here's some. Here's some. Oh, that's a lot. That is a lot. Oh my god. All right. Yeah, this has shown me how completely and utterly unprepared my ore processing system is for this. That is insanely fast. Running this at 100% uptime is not sustainable. Like this is gonna get filled up so fast. That is very cool. I like that a lot. I'm also gonna finish off the other 4 integrated ore factories, and I'm gonna make an expansion to the ore processing building. And I'm gonna revamp this ore sign so that it looks like the other signs, because the font, as you can tell, is a little bit different. The chem, the oil, and the bees, the font is not the same as Kevlar, for example, or Fusion. So I'm gonna take this opportunity to fix that. Okay, 2 more integrated ore factories have been completed. Also, I'm now realizing I actually need 6 of them because there are kind of 6 paths I can take. So the first path is macerate, centrifuge. The second path is macerate, ore wash, macerate, centrifuge. The third path is macerate, ore wash, thermal centrifuge, macerate. The fourth path is macerate, ore wash, and then sift, which nickel ore doesn't have that option, so yeah, sift. And then the 5th and 6th are the same. The only difference is one uses sodium persulfate and one uses mercury. So it's macerate, chemical bath, macerate, centrifuge. So I need 6. Some of those lines will probably see less use than others. I won't have to do this to all of them, but this structure, the cube, can actually be quad shared. So that kind of means I need even more space than I thought I did. So now I'm kind of thinking of making this whole like river area to repurpose all of it for ore processing. At the same time, I don't want to lose the river itself. So I'm thinking of something like kind of like a glass floor over here so you can actually see the river while you're in the building. I think that would be cool. It's a little bulky, and I think I may have to shift this path over a little bit, but that's okay. One really cool thing I could do is use the metro, which I have running again for fun, I can use the metro to look into this building, and I think that could look really cool. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get the rest of the ore factories, but also another issue that I've noticed is I am starting to not make enough power, which is crazy. However, I can now make the Naquata fuel refinery, which allows me to make Mark III Naquata fuel. It's a bit expensive. It needs UEV circuits. Also needs a bunch of other stuff. Well, actually, it's not that expensive. Only a little expensive. The casings need manulin, which is I haven't seen manulin in a hot minute. Yeah, pretty much all of these components are perfectly fine. So with the Naquata fuel refinery, I can start making Mark III Naquata based fuel. I could maybe even make Mark IV. I haven't looked too closely. It looks a bit expensive, but I think I can actually do this. So I can make Mark III, and there are two ways I can do this. Either with chromatic glass, which is cheap but very slow to make, or Tiberium. I'll look into the relative EU cost of this and see what's better. I have a feeling it's going to be the chromatic glass, but I'm not totally sure yet. So I think it might be wise for me to make a quick detour, upgrade my fuel, upgrade my power situation, and then come back to making more integrated ore factories. I am working on the Naquata fuel refinery, and I didn't notice this before, but I need thulium screws, and I don't have any thulium. But luckily, there are a couple of ways for me to get thulium. So first of all, I could get it from space mining. I can also apparently get it from meteor rituals. Actually, maybe I do have some thulium. Oh, I do. Okay, well, those are some ways to get thulium. But before, my plan was to use cracked Naquata asphalt to get molten thulium, but I don't need to do that. Apparently, I just have some. So, never mind. There's also the advanced radiation-proof plates. These can be space assembled, which I might get to today. Maybe not sure. But it's a little bit nicer than the normal process because I don't need to do the scan. But actually, besides that, it's the same cost. This is the total sum of all the inputs that goes into making these advanced radiation-proof plates. I'm just going to do it the classic way for now, and then I will see you when I have the Naquata fuel refinery, unless I discover some other roadblock. Now, while I have made the Naquata fuel refinery controller and the casings, I'm still missing the field restriction coils. I made one, and I researched the recipe for the advanced field restriction coils, which I would like to make, but at this point, I think it is far too expensive for me. So I will definitely do this in the future instead. The tier 1 field restriction coils though, it's close. I need some tin, which is fine, some osmium, which is fine, some naquadria, which is a bit annoying, but fine. Water, xenon, both of those are okay. But the lanthanum hexaborate is a bit annoying because I need borax to make the boric acid. And borax is a bit annoying even with space mining. So I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to set up a void miner specifically for borax. It's certainly not lanthanum that's the problem. But knowing myself, I'm probably going to forget something on the other planets. So I am going to make the Infinity Booster card. Apparently, most of the bugs were fixed, so it's not known to be buggy anymore. So I will make this. This is pretty cheap. Now I think we just craft these together. And if you hold control, it says here, installed card, Infinity Booster card. Now I should be able to do this from anywhere. Let's test it out. So normally it would not work over here, but it does. Perfect. So I can probably save a few channels around the base by destroying all of these wireless access points. Alright, time to go. I kind of want to try this space elevator thing. So apparently it can launch you into space. Oh yeah, that's great. Oh, it's just instant. It saves so much time. Don't forget to bring your rocket though, because it does not give you a way back home. Hello. It has been a significant amount of time since the last clip. It's been like 3 days, I think. Let me just start by saying my field restriction coils are done, so I can put together the Naquata fuel refinery, which is great and all, but making these inputs is actually a few more steps and needs a few more machines. So the high density uranium needs an electric implosion compressor. It also needs high density uranium nuggets, which needs wrapped uranium ingots, which is an assembler recipe, with graphite uranium mixed dust, which is a mixer recipe. It's a whole thing. So I'm just going to chill on that for a second. And in the meantime, I have set up quite a few integrated ore factories, it would seem. But that's not really true. I've built the structures, but the controllers are missing for most of these. I have 6 integrated ore factories, one for each of these quad shared structures. and everything has been wired up. It's a lot. Let me just explain it one by one really slowly. First of all, power comes in from the maintenance tunnels into this active transformer. We split off a bit of power and we send it into this LSC. Don't worry about these wireless connectors, I'll come back to them. So first, let me just talk about the power. 256 amps of ZPM for each of these laser lines, and each line goes to an active transformer that is set in the middle of these 4 integrated ore factories. And that's the case for all 6 of these setups. So power comes in, and here it's converted into a regular current instead of a laser one because the integrated ore factory doesn't accept GregTech. So it has to be a normal energy hatch. Currently I have it on LUV. I can overclock this if I want. The minimum is LUV to saturate all 1000 parallels. And the reason I did all of this instead of just having a giant cable is so that it would be easier to upgrade to overclock. If I just had a giant cable connecting to all of these and I wanted to upgrade, I would have to replace every single cable. That would suck. I still need to replace all of these cables whenever I want to upgrade, but that's not as bad. So that's the power situation. These red cables are, of course, my main net. This is where I get my distilled water and lubricant from. These are connected to wireless connectors, and each of these wireless connectors goes to one on this stack. And this stack is just a pile that's connected to my main net. So this is just the main net stack. And here I have a storage bus with extract only, and I have a power connection for the blue subnet. Now, the blue subnet, oh boy. So the blue subnet is my ore processing subnet. It is different than my existing ore processing subnet, so I guess I can call this my ore factory subnet. Here I have an ender chest where all my ores go. I'm pulling in using a conveyor module set to only ore blocks, so these get put into my storage. And my storage here I have some unfiltered storage, so pretty much anything can go here. And around each of these ore factory stacks, I have a storage bus that is filtered to specific ores based on how I want to process them, and it's sticky carded. And each of these has its own 10 ME storage cell storage system, which is kind of a subnet actually, but whatever. And then all of these ores are pulled into the machine by this advanced stocking input bus, and it's set to pull everything. Doing it like this allows the input to be shared by all 4 of these integrated ore factories, so that's pretty nice. Each of these wireless connectors is connected to one of these top layer wireless connectors. These are connected to my advanced stocking input buses. So this goes to one of the quads, this goes to another quad, this goes to another quad, and so on. These 4 at the bottom are related to this. It's connected to the same set of quads. So this column is all connected to the same set of quad integrated ore factories. And these 4 are for the outputs. So for example, here I have an ME output bus. I don't have a factory here, so I haven't set this one up. What I've been doing is I've pointed this inwards, and in here I've placed my wireless connector. So a wireless connector would go here, and it would connect to one of these, for example. And there are 4 output buses, and they can't be shared, so there are 4 wireless connectors here. It is very cramped, which I regret, but this should be really fast with 4 integrated ore factories each. That should be pretty good. And I can overclock them. So I'm going to get these going, and it is going to take a very, very long time to go through all of these ores. So I should probably start overclocking right about now, but I don't have enough power. So next up, I need to work on power. Oh, also, I don't think I mentioned, but so the way I have it set up is this one on the far right is macerate, wash, macerate, centrifuge. The next 2 from the right are macerate, chemical bath, macerate, centrifuge. This one is sodium persulfate. This one is mercury. This one is just macerate, macerate, centrifuge. This one is macerate, ore wash, sift. And this one is macerate, ore wash, thermal refinery, centrifuge. So yeah, proper ore processing. Feels good. Right, so looking at how long the episode has run so far, I think I will do Naquata Fuel Mark 3 in the next episode. And in this episode, I am just going to finish off the building here. There. Something workable. It's not much, but this is still a work in progress. All of these integrated ore factories still need to be completed, so I'm happy to leave the building incomplete for now.
I'm just happy that the or sign looks nice.
Thank you for watching this episode of the HamCorp Training Manual. In the next episode, we will work on improving power generation by building the Naquata fuel refinery and crafting Mark III Naquata-based fuel. After that, we will discuss 2 long-term goals, but first improve our infrastructure throughout the base, and this may end up being the rest of the episode. We'll see. See you next time.